not too cluttered. I don't know. I can't see all the the details in the back, but yeah, no, hopefully it's okay.
No, it looks great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm I'm getting over being sick, but aside from that, life is good. You know, came
You
back
don't
from,
sound sick.
yeah, I don't sound sick.
No.
Good. Okay. That's good.
Oh,
Um,
my microphone
did you just
fell
drop
off my
your
video.
camera?
Yeah, this thing fell and it turned off my video.
It's funny.
Smart little thing.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm awesome. I've just been super busy and yeah, just the podcast is totally on fire.
That's great.
Super busy with that. Yeah, the listeners are just absolutely loving our guests. We've been so lucky with the guests that we've had. And then also just my mastermind and my one-on-one coaching. So
That's terrific.
Been good. What about you?
Yeah, just finished up a 5-week vacation, so just kind of getting back into things. But business has been really good. We've been doing a lot of increasing this year for EasyWebinar. Just so many more clients and customers coming in. We've hired a lot of people, so scaling up, and then my mastermind specifically has been ramping up as well. We've just been helping people, sell their products and services and coaching programs through, evergreen webinars, basically through helping them, create their own funnels and stuff like that, or what we call a sales experience instead of a sales funnel. And it's been fun. So a lot of times we're just taking EasyWebinar clients and customers who are running live webinars, who are they're kind of sick of the launch game, having a launch.
Mm-hmm.
And we just get them into selling their product and services 24/7, with one simple evergreen webinar process. So yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. It's that's my favorite. That's my passion, just to be able to help people with just finding more freedom and having those systems in place and being able to just let that go. So yeah, it's been a good time. And a lot of people that are EasyWebinar customers are needing that very thing. A lot of them are, coaches, consultants, and product creators, So,
yeah, no, that's perfect. That's totally my audience too. So I want to deep dive. And I know that you mentioned you had a presentation on how to build a webinar. Would you want to kind of dive into just kind of a teaser of I think that it'd be really cool if it was really practical. And then obviously I'm going to ask you some life stuff as well. And then I'll pitch the Easy Webinar at the end, obviously. If you have any practical, not a sales pitchy thing, but more so I usually do the pitching at the end, but obviously I'll ask you about it too. But if you have any practical steps or advice or tools or knowledge resources about why people need a webinar, why people what is an evergreen funnel, what is an evergreen webinar, I think that'd be really cool. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I could share a presentation on stuff like this, or I could just free form, because I talk about this stuff all the time.
Cool.
But as an example, let's see, where is this? So the thing I normally do is, let me see if this is it right here.
Also, or I'll see after.
Let me see. Do you want? Because I can share a presentation. That's no problem.
What do you think?
Well, let me see. So, because the presentation could be something like this, where I go into. So you just see it right now. But it could be where I share this stuff, and it's really basically for people that are service providers, course creators. And I start to talk about, sales. This is where I talk about sales funnels. And then I break it down. Yeah. And then I break it down into my favorite, which are webinar funnels. Right. And I talk about what they're for. And I also talk about the problem with running a live webinar, because many of you maybe feel these things. And, when I started out, I did terrible webinars, but I still succeeded because I take a couple things like sincerity and value. And then I jump into showing like the fastest way to get to like $12,000 a month, leveraging
I
one
love this.
webinar program per week.
Can we just do this? Can we just
Yes.
have the beginning being like, hey guys, it's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to go through a presentation. Me and you pronounce it Casey.
Yeah.
Zeman.
Or Zeman. Yeah, Zeman.
Okay.
You don't have to be like Z-Man. You can if you want.
He's the man. Put a little spunk in. So me and Casey, we're chatting at the beginning of this podcast, and I absolutely love his presentation. He's so knowledgeable, and I just asked him if he would share a presentation. So this is going to be a little bit different interview. He's going to go through a presentation. Do you want to do that? And then at the end, maybe we could ask like a couple questions.
Yeah, like how much time do you have, and how long do you want this to be?
Totally up to you. I'm free for the next 4 hours, but I know you probably don't have 4 hours to commit to this.
Yeah.
So however long you want.
Okay.
Kind of whatever your schedule pertains to.
Okay. Well, this thing normally is like an hour like 30. So, but I can like, this is what I did for Teachable. Like as an example, like but this does have a pitch at the end, like with a special opportunity for like Teachable people. It was like these bonuses that I rolled in, and like access to my Elite Webinar Mastery learning system, which sells for $2,000 on its own. But I rolled it in when people got pro annual of EasyWebinar. But this is like, this is like what I do for affiliates and partners.
I have a question. Oh, shoot. Never mind. I was going to say, what we could do is we could do this all at the same time for my mastermind, which has about 50 people in it, and about half of them show up to the live webinar or the live Zoom, and then half of them show up and they watch the replay. But if you wanted, we could do something where, I have one tonight, but I have Amber Lee presenting. But even if you wanted to do like next Wednesday, we could maybe at 5 p.m. PST, maybe we could do this, and we could do it as a presentation to the mastermind members and as a podcast. And then maybe we could do an affiliate link at the end and then do something like that.
100%. Yeah, totally. Like that could work really well. The other thought that I was having too is that we could do like a quick interview, and it could be just value, just like our faces exchanging back and forth. But then we can also do, and then maybe that Wednesday could be at the mastermind. So,
cool.
Cause that, either way you swing it, it depends on how you want to do it. Like, but for sure, I've done this same teaching for other masterminds, and I think it's really valuable. I just love speaking, directly to a group of people. So so that would be great. This Wednesday, I'm at the Summit of Greatness in a mastermind with Lewis on that day.
Cool.
Yeah. So I won't be available this next Wednesday, but I'll be back in LA and back here the following week. So I don't know if that works for you at all.
Yeah, we could even do the September 4th or September 11th. September 11th would be perfect.
Yeah, that would be probably better, because September 4th, that's where I'm in Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. Okay, right. Yeah, do you want to do September 11th at 5 p.m. PST?
Yeah, let me see. I have at 5 p.m. PST. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll give me actually time to schedule that also with my wife too, because like I have a podcast right before then, and it's like I'm being interviewed right before then, and so I'll just transition over to you. So cool. And I'll just make sure that I let my family know, because normally my day stops at 5 because I got like kids and shit like that.
You have like 17 kids.
I got like an ass load of children.
How many kids do you have?
3. I had 3 kids.
Okay, that's still a lot.
It's still a lot,
You
and
got a
it's
lot of
like
responsibility.
managing all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
No,
I'll
you're
let her know.
Superman. I don't know how you do it all.
It's very scheduled. We have like
Yeah.
a whole like board, you know, with like this is what the nanny's doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what my wife is doing. So
Oh, I love that. That's
you be
awesome.
really, yeah, it takes a lot of that. So
Cool.
we could do that, and then yeah, like that's in the calendar. We could do that to your mastermind today if you wanted to. We could we could do like a quick interview, whatever feels, whatever you want to do.
Listen, and I'd like to put them both on my podcast. So you'll just get extra footage and extra FaceTime. Yeah, and then I'll promo it. But yeah, what we can do is we can repurpose that into the podcast and as well. So yeah, exposure never hurts. So yeah, let's do that. Then let's do a quick little interview, maybe more about like entrepreneurship, business. What are things that, like, I have a series of questions I want to ask you. But what are things that you enjoy talking about? Like, what are you passionate about? Self-love, mindset, discipline, personal accountability, how to run a successful business, how to create success in your life. Like you know
what it is for me that I've sort of discovered is like the balance or the equilibrium of life and work. And you know, how for me, you know, I've been building a family up over time, and I was so paranoid about building a family up because I'm like, my baby was my business, or my business was my baby, and I would put so much time and energy into it. And I was like, can I split focus, right? And that was my big concern when growing a family. And what I've noticed and found is that as I grew my family, my income, for whatever reason, also started to grow as well, from getting more more drilled down with my time, with really thinking proactively on finding that equilibrium of work and life. And so we could talk about that, like, and how, to be honest with you, systems like webinar systems, like selling our courses and our software on webinars, you know, automated webinars, like that sustained me while I was going back to Haiti, you know, 16 times while we were in the adoption process, you know, like in 2016 and 17, where I wasn't even in the business. Like I couldn't be there, but it still ran. It still, you know, grew every year, even while I was forced to be out of it because I created systems and put systems in place for it to generate revenue. Yeah. Like I have an article that was done on Thrive Global that really talks about, like, the headline is like how a webinar saved his house and grew a family, because the concept was like, my story is that, like, I started off in real estate, and then after the real estate market crashed, I like went from a 6-figure job to like making $15,000 the next year and almost lost my house.
Oh, talk about that.
I can talk about that. And then the journey of basically learning about this online world to try to find leads, which led me into being a consultant on YouTube, because I jumped into YouTube and video marketing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I can talk about that, how I went into video, YouTube, and I created a course on YouTube. And yeah, I'll just talk about how I became a consultant, became a product, course creator that had the problem of not being able to sell my courses until I added webinars, because that's all the true story there. It's like, I became a course creator and I was like, I started using webinars. I was able to like sell 6 figures of my course using webinars finally. And then that led me to building a software all around webinars, right? Because my other problem became, I wanted to figure out how to systemize doing webinars. And that's what EasyWebinar became.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I can talk about that. And then that same process helped me to also transition into bringing my kids home from Haiti and stuff like that. So all the things there.
I love that. Do you have any like authority blurb that I can say about your company, just so that when we talk about like how to build success in the business, then people are like, oh, like that makes sense. Like that's what he created. Is there anything that I could share that you're?
Yeah, like a bio of some kind.
Sort of like it's the #1 platform in the world for webinars, or like it was rated this, or like it does this much, like annual, like it makes people like the money that's gone through your webinars is like $1 million or something. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah. I feel like I have something like that. Because, people that use our system are like, we have people that use our system, and like Jay Shetty, Bob Proctor, Amy Porterfield. There are people that have run, I have this in this presentation, actually.
I love Amy Porterfield. I think that's how I found EasyWebinar. Listening to her podcast. I'm going to get her on my podcast one day.
She's awesome. Yeah, for sure. She's awesome. Let me bring this over. Because I feel like I have that in a bio. Like, learn the secrets of how some of our clients generate $20,000 a month and some $20,000 a day with EasyWebinar. Who am I? Let's see. Let me see. This might work. Let me send this off to you in the chat.
I can just take a picture.
Okay.
But yeah, you can send it to whatever's easy.
Yeah, we have over 8,000 clients. Some of our top clients are generating anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a day, or some are generating $20,000 a month to basically, like people like Amy Porterfield or Tanya Eliza or some of these other folks who are generating like $10,000 to $20,000 a day, right? In monthly, in recurring revenue from our systems, right? Yeah, and then
too bad you can't charge her a revenue split instead of a monthly fee.
Right, I know. But like, there are like John Lee Dumas, like in this presentation. That's why I kind of like talk about like
John has his stuff on your.
He has in the past. I feel like they added it again, but John, I kind of helped out with systemizing automated webinars, and he was able to like generate the same amount of revenue by only doing 1 live webinar a month instead of 4 that he used to, because of adding automated webinars in. But like, yeah, like I've worked with all these guys. Like we created an organic auto webinar podcasting funnel for him using our system, and Dale Partridge as well. Let's see if I have.
That's perfect.
I'll post this. And you can say some of their clients include Amy Porter, Field, Teachable, who else?
Bob Proctor, Jay Shetty.
ConvertKit, Bob Proctor, Jay Shetty. There's more. I mean, and other, let's say, influencers. Product creators, and consultants. Influencers, authors. Because that's really who we serve, like influencers, basically, right? We see a lot of we see that we have a lot of people that are like the Jay Shettys that are using our system, and then we have people that are like SaaS platforms as well. Like Teachable uses us, ConvertKit uses us, and like Amazing.com uses us, stuff like that. So. Let's see if there's any other like stats that I can give you. Here's Bob Proctor's stuff with us.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Does that work?
Perfect.
Yeah.
That
'Cause
is
like
perfect.
some people, I mean, the way people look at our system is like that, they will like EasyWebinar has been used as like the backbone of their business. Like I have people that have been like, this is what I sell with. Like it's the backbone of my business, right? Here, I'll just take this too, and I'll put this right here. Boom. Okay.
Perfect.
So there we go. And I'll stop sharing, and then hopefully that'll work.
That's right. The what I'm going to do, because it's a little bit, I want to go through it and present in a really articulate manner. I'm going to skip that for right now, and then I'm just going to do it as the intro later on.
Perfect.
So we can just jump right into it. So yeah, let's do that then.
Okay.
Did you have any questions for me?
No. But I don't think anything is, there's nothing you can't ask. So go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I'll repurpose this into a YouTube clip. You'll get the audiograms. I'll put it on my podcast. And yeah, let's get going.
Okay.
What's your time like?
Yeah, I'm good till I'm good right now. So we can go for an hour, whatever you need right now. So,
Perfect.
and just let me know how I can best serve you in this process as I do this, interview. I want to make sure it's like good for you. It's like helpful, valuable, whatever you need. So
yeah, I mean, my big thing is I just want to help people. I want to inspire people. I want to give them practical tools to be able to just grow their life and their business. And my big pillar is how to create success in your mind, body, soul, relationships, and business. So yeah, I also talk about social media as well. Would you mind talking about like how you grew your social media? Cool, because I found that every single guest I've had on, except for like one or two, have had over 100,000 followers, some of upward of 1 million. And so I want, for some reason, it always comes out. And it's something my audience really loves. It's like everyone wants to learn how to build influence and all that. So yeah, I'll just be like,
we'll talk about it. I mean, last year, I'd say 8 months ago or 9 months ago, I had like 4,000 followers. So I can explain, I can go into some detail on that, on what we did to change that drastically.
Sure. What did you do?
I hired a team to create video content for me. And we started doing daily posting with video content. So I hired a growth team. I hired a growth team that did like shout outs, that did like, things like that were US based. I had tried so many different things actually. Like I'm sure you and I have been probably down the same pathways. Because I think we know the same people based on my conversations with some other people.
Like who?
Well, do you know Chris Fredericks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I worked.
Did he mention me?
I asked if he knew you because I think I saw that he liked something of yours.
Oh yeah, no, he likes all my stuff. He does some growth stuff. I tried him once, but I just found much more inexpensive ways to do it. It's a little bit more. He works. He's like the Louis Vuitton of Instagram growth. I don't know. So
yeah. Well, what I found was when I did a growth with him, I was only getting Brazilian followers. And when I did a growth with my other guys, it was all US based, high engagement.
Who did you use?
Internally, I had my guys and the people they worked with. I can't remember his name. His name is Jack. He's like a 19-year-old kid, but
interesting. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he was someone I first used him, and I saw high engagement. But then I was like, I wanted to see, but he was expensive. He was more expensive than Chris. So I went to Lewis' house. I was like, hey man, who do you use? And he said, oh, here's Chris Fredericks. So I got connected with Chris, and I did some growth with Chris. I wanted to get to like a push to like, I wanted him to do 80,000, give me 80,000. So I started the process, 30,000 people in. I noticed that my engagement went way down. And
Really?
yeah, way down. I started getting like Brazilian followers and non-English speaking followers. And I was like, so I called him. I was like, hey, tell me more about this. He was like, well, we're doing international looping. We do that up to 100,000. And then beyond that, that's when we could do some more shout outs and stuff like that.
And that was with Chris or Jack?
That was Chris. That was with Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Was Jack, and Jack was US based, but it was a taste. It was just like 10,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
That I was testing out. And then I went to Chris to test out, to, do more. And after learning about that, I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to pause this. So I paused after 30,000. So I didn't actually go the entire 80,000, whatever we were growing. And I went back to Jack and I was like, can you grow me 30,000 so I can do a comparison on these two?
Yeah.
Because my thing was, I understood his process of like up to 100,000. It doesn't matter where the followers are coming from, but I just didn't feel right about that. I wanted to have engaged followers, US based, all the way up to 100,000 and beyond. So,
yeah.
So I did a, comparison, 30,000 with Jack. Jack's, yes, was more expensive, but
how much was Jack's?
I'd like to say 25 cents of, how's that shit work? I'm so
no,
bad.
That's way too much. 25 cents a follower.
I think it's something like that. It's like, all I know is that to grow 100,000 was 20,000 a month.
$20,000?
$20,000. Yeah.
For 100,000 followers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I didn't do that, but I definitely paid him a lot. But so I paid Chris a lot too. Again, I've been like, I'm an experiment. I mean, I was just experimenting. I wanted to know what this was all about.
Yeah.
So anyway, I tested it out and I found that there was more engagement, more click-throughs, everything with Jack.
Did you find you got any clients from Jack?
That's the thing I can't seem to measure as of yet. Like, I'm like still trying to figure it out.
I feel like all my clients are like organically, like I've done giveaways as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't get many clients from it. But I get likes and comments and engagement and stuff.
I feel like the vanity metrics of Instagram and having more than 100,000 followers is like, maybe it gets you through a velvet, through that door.
Oh, it does big time. Don't you find people treat you differently now that you have more followers?
Yeah. And I think
like off the record.
Yeah, no, it's like, it opens up the conversation. I think maybe that's the metric, that's still kind of undefined, but maybe you get more podcasts or more relationship connections, or maybe it's easier for someone to swallow that pill of your $10,000 program if they see that you have this level of authority. So it might not be this direct thing. However, I have seen, some direct stuff. What we're trying to measure now is directness to organic Instagram, versus ads, because I have paid ads in Instagram too, that work as well. So
yeah, it's an interesting beast. The algorithm has changed so much where it's so hard to grow organically. Like, I've tried everything. I've tried giveaways. I've tried shout outs. I've tried so much. And yeah, the promos are, I don't know if I really want to talk about the promos on the podcast. Cause it's got like a weird, it's hard to talk about. It's like the only way to grow.
I know. We don't have to talk about, what we can mention is that I've just put attention into it, and, and why, and what we can focus on is that my team has posted quality content. We've commented back on people. When we were just doing that without the growth, we are still growing. Just not as fast. And majority of the engagement is probably due to the fact that I have guys that are always commenting on other people's stuff all the time, and the content we're posting. So, and the testing out of like viral content, like, I think growth is the metric. growth is the vanity metric, but engagement is what you post on a consistent basis and what, and how it reflects your brand, you know?
Yeah, and if you want, I have somebody that will do 10,000 followers for $600.
Yeah, like connect me with those people. Like I just have somebody who just reached out about, hey, I can grow you 10,000 for 400 US based. So I'm finding I'll connect you with this dude.
We need
know.
We need to just like share contacts, because I feel like there's so much that we could do together. Do you have your own podcast too?
So I have a podcast called Webinar Lab, and then I have a podcast that has been in and out, which is my Tribe Minded podcast. So I'm still I'm getting my interview set up. Like right now it's mostly clients that I'm interviewing and moving them into my Tribe Minded podcast. So Rebecca Louise and these other people, I'm just doing interviews. So the answer is I'm growing before launching. So
yeah, cool. Because I also have a guy that I partnered up with where we do the show notes. Have you seen my audiograms on Instagram? All of my like graphics and stuff. I'll send them to you right now.
Yeah, show me.
Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Actually, okay, so that might take a couple seconds to go through. If you go to my, are you on my Instagram right now? Go to It's the second thing right here. It says, it's this one. It says podcast audio. Go click on that.
Cool.
And then you can look at the audio. Are you on this one?
No, I'm on the first one it gave me.
Oh, no, it should be this one. I sent you a message on Instagram too.
Let me see.
But we also do those for people. And then we do like the editing of the podcast. We do absolutely everything. So if you ever need anything like that, I have a team like that does all the graphics and for super inexpensive too. For like $100 an episode, you get like, I think 3 to 4 different audiograms plus the show notes. Wow. That's like basically my cost. I charge people way more than that. But yeah, if you ever wanted, I can connect you with my partner that does that too.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm eating like,
no, go ahead. I feel like we're like in like a meeting that's going to happen, a podcast. This needed to happen. Cause I feel like there's so much stuff that we could share with each other to help each other out.
Have we ever met in person?
Yeah. When we were
Mike Zeller's thing?
Yes.
Was that
Chris
it?
Harder. Yeah.
Oh, Chris's thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Brian DaCosta was there. Yep. And then you were talking about, I remember I just recently heard about EasyWebinar because I was listening to Amy Porterfield's podcast. And then you happened to show up and then you were talking about your family and the adoption or something. I think you guys just did something with that.
Yeah, the kids. I don't think the kids were home when I met you.
I think it was something. It was just happening or something.
We were in the process. Okay, cool. So you connected me with this person. Yeah, so like that training that we do on the 11th, I've done that for Chris Harder's mastermind, so I can go like teach it to your guys.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, I think I just liked the photo. I think I just saw you with that.
Yeah, because I had guys go and film me while I was at Chris's thing.
Yeah.
So cool. Awesome. Thank you for connecting me.
Yeah, of course. He's just wonderful. He does like a 48-hour. Well, for me, he does 24-hour, but he usually does 24-hour, 48-hour turnaround. So I love it because I interviewed Trent Shelton 2 days ago, and I launched the podcast that evening. So it was super convenient. He's just wonderful.
They'll take it. They'll edit it too.
Not the podcast editing. I'm a little bit bad. I'll sometimes launch stuff and then I'll go back and edit the show notes and stuff. Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. So okay, I got it. So they'll take the audio, strip it, and then it links right to the like iTunes. Is that what it does?
Yeah. So what I do with Philip is so if I get the podcast edited, that's not what I send to him that gets done right away. But with him, I'll just send him the link, and then I give him my password to Anchor, and I send him my audio link, and he'll upload it to Anchor. He'll do the title. He'll do the description. I usually think of the title, but sometimes I'll give it to him. But he'll do the show notes. He'll do the description, which is the show notes. He'll do the audiograms. He'll publish it. He'll pretty much do everything. So literally what we're doing is we're building a business where people literally just send us the audio link. And then we will also build the like little thumbnail. If somebody doesn't have a podcast, which you do, then we'll build them the intro, the outro, the description, all of that stuff. But if somebody has a podcast, and then we also do growth. So we will do like promotion to get you like ranked really high in the podcast. It's all organic. But we have a bunch of different like promos that we can do. They get you ranked top. So you get more subscriptions, more listeners. And then there's also.
Yeah. Let's keep talking about that. Cause I want to I'd loop you in with my guys who are doing social media stuff. Like they're the ones that are creating the content, social media stuff. We have a whole Pinterest thing that we're doing as well. We're going to be creating a lot of images and stuff like that. So this would be a good add-on, piece to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I also work with another team. I've partnered up essentially with two people. So I do a lot. I'm a little bit of a workaholic in case you didn't notice. But so my main revenue streams are my mastermind, my one-on-one coaching. And then I also am starting to get clients for my podcast.
That's great.
People paying to come on my podcast, because what I'm pitching them as well, and you should do this too, is I pitch them and I'm like, yeah, do you want the audiograms, and I'll promo you on my social media, and I'll promo you on my podcast, etc. So for $1,000 an episode, if you want to pay me $1,000 to interview you, I'm open to that. So I don't want to saturate it too much. And eventually I want to have it like $5,000, like, Entrepreneur on Fire, they charge people to go on their podcast, right? Oh, well, it's not a secret. John's a buddy. So he's also going to come on my podcast. Let me see what it is exactly. I can tell you because I know that he's like open about it. I'm not like disclosing.
I've been on his podcast, but
you didn't pay obviously. Right. No, there's no way. A while ago. But he charges $10,000. I bet it's. Let me see. I can't. Must have been in a voice note. I'll have to look at the voice notes. But anyways, I think he charges like $1,000 to $5,000 an episode. But you can end up doing that too. You can obviously like sponsor that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so I do. So I partnered with a marketing company. They're kind of the best in the business. They do websites, SEO, social media growth. That's where my contact for the 10,000 followers for $600. And then I also partnered up with this Philip who does all the podcasting. And then my main things are my mastermind, my one-on-one coaching, and then my podcasting too, which is great because I just absolutely love it. But yeah, if you ever need any contacts or anything, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to
that'd be awesome.
Help you out and share. I connected you with Phil, and then I'll also, if you wanted to do the giveaway, just let me know, and then I will get you all sorted out with that. But yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, like I'd be interested to know like best practices around that. Like I've done giveaways, but
that's what Chris was doing for you.
That was, yeah, exactly. But I'm interested in like more high level shout out stuff, like where it's like, like actual like entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? So
I used, because I've done it all. I've done ads, I've done shout outs, I've done giveaways, I've done a lot of organic stuff.
yeah.
A lot of organic stuff. Millionaire Mentor is good.
Hmm.
He charges, last I checked, he charges $250 for a shout out. I'll send you the Instagram. Apparently he's good. And then the person that I used to use, I've tried so many of them, was Millionaire. Her name was Bianca. Business Mindset 101. But they weren't all from the US, but they were pretty active and engaged.
And you do, so like, this is just one shout out. Like this is one person that will do a shout out, right?
Yeah.
Because like Chris Fredericks is talking about like doing like 20 shout outs. But I feel like it's almost like going directly to the source might be a
it'd be way cheaper.
Yeah, right.
So what I did is once actually, I wonder if I have these lists. So hold on. Business. I can never find it, but I used to do shout outs all the time and I had a list of them. And then I also put like how many followers I got and how much money it cost, but I don't know where the list went because it's not allowing me to look it up on my notes. Business. Oh, no.
So funny. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's like these things like you want to.
Oh, found it. Okay. I'm going to send this to you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I sent it to you.
Awesome.
So those are all the ones that I used.
That's so helpful.
So you can literally message these people yourself, and then some of them were $15, some of them were $130 for 1,000. I haven't used these people for a while. I like Business Mindset 101. They were my favorite.
Business Mindset 101. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones you posted here.
Yeah.
And set up. I'm just sending this to my team right now and saying, call these people, set up shout outs. So, oh wait, I don't know if Business Mastermind 101 got on there. Hold on. So that's how many followers you got. Oh, okay, cool. And you like listed out what you got from it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And like, these are more sticky, right? These followers, do you feel like they were more sticky?
Yeah, it's definitely more so than the,
just those like
promos,
yes. Right?
But they're still from all over the world. Like, good luck getting US followers unless you're doing paid ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard. But
I know.
I mean,
this is going to be helpful. Thank you so much. This is great. Yeah, because like, how many is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fucking millions make billions. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, cool. This is really helpful. Yeah. So I'll like, because
and then what I say. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying like Chris is saying $4,500 for like 20 shout outs. So I really don't know
How many followers would you get?
That I don't know. I don't know the metrics on what that means. Like I'm trying to understand. I'm like, well, who are they? And like, what can I get? And so I guess we're going to have a conversation about it. Maybe on Friday to figure it out.
Cool. Yeah. Don't say I said anything because I don't want him to think I'm like competing against him. Because I don't like offer this, the paid shout outs. I was just like giving it to you. I
keep very, with my conversations with people, I keep it very siloed. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
yeah.
And the other thing is that how I got like a wicked deal for all of these people is I said, which was just the truth, is I said, if it works well for me, I'll refer you a bunch of clients, and you can almost always haggle them down. Because I did so many of them. I was like, why would I pay full price when you ask them? You usually, they tell you a price, say half price, and then when they come back at it, then you do another one because it's going to be the same. But okay, let's get started with the interview. I'm going to run to the bathroom really quick and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
One second.
Actually a good idea. I'm going to do the same thing.
Sir, what did you say? Hold on.
I'm going to do the same thing.
Sir, what did you say?
I'm going to go do the same thing.
Okay.
I'm going to run it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Awesome. Also, I thought of something else for you. Trying to find it. It's called Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Spelt weird. But it's, Nathan was his name. Let me see if I can find him.
Okay.
I bet you need N-A-T. Okay, anyways, there's also some stuff online if you look up page shout outs on Fiverr.
Really? You think like even
Yeah.
going to Fiverr for paid shout outs?
Yeah, I've done it all.
You've done it all. You've tested
I am the
everything.
social media queen. I have done everything. So I've done paid shout outs on Fiverr. Some of them worked.
Mhm.
Um,
What was the other thing? Butterfly something?
I gotta find it.
I can have my guys like do a search for it or something. I'm just posting all this like for them to do. Like I'm gonna have them like take a look and just research. But yeah, you know, I mean, I know that like Chris is like, let's do this thing, but I'm like, obviously, I'm trying to like as expensive as this stuff is getting. Like I've spent so much money on it already. It's like I know that there's a better way to probably do it. You know what I
you
mean?
should have
Like,
came to me.
yeah, like
I
honestly, I
know
talked to
all
you a
of
long
like
time ago.
the best ways to do everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send you the link for the Fiverr shout outs. And then also I just sent it to you on Zoom group chat. And then also you can go to shout outs. Just Google paid shout outs. And then there's shout out cart, works really well. And these are targeted people. So if you go to, go to the chat and go to the website I just sent you, go to shoutoutcart.com, and then you can go to browse, and then you can look up specific niches. You can look up like entrepreneurship.
Cool.
So yeah, so you can see, and then you can see like their price too if you log in. And I would do more micro influencers too, to be honest. You get a way better deal and they're way more targeted.
Cool. Putting it all in.
Yes, I do something like shout out cart versus if you're going to spend 5K on Chris, I would spend 5K on shout out cart, or the other good one. Just go paid shout outs on Google. You can go to buy and sell shoutouts.com, 24 best shout out services, LifeWire, shop and shout out. Yeah. But don't tell Chris I said that, because Chris is a friend. I just know he overcharges. But he's not really a friend. I tried doing his shout out thing once. Well,
when you did it, and listen, it's all good. When you did it feel like it just didn't like get the results you were looking for?
No, he just charged 3 times as much as everybody else that I got quoted from. I like him. I like his service, but he just charges, because he worked with Lewis Howes. He charges triple when he's just, he's lining his pockets to buy Ferraris and pools in his backyard. Like, I love him, but like, I'm not going to, I do very well for myself financially. And the reason why I do well for myself financially is because my revenue is very high and my expenses are very low, because I have a degree in finance and my father has built a $40 million empire with so much real estate and assets, and lives in a $6 million home. But anyways, the reason why he's been able to build such an empire is because he just gets things done for really inexpensive. Like the house that they build, they got it done for super cheap because he went straight to the subcontractors and hired them. He didn't hire like the company. So yeah, I have nothing against Chris. I just like to do things where I can find it at a way better price. I like to find quality people. And I like to build teams overseas. But anyways, that's not here or there. But
I mean, my team is in India, so it's all good. We have people from the Philippines on our dude. There is no it's not like overspending is not like it's not like just because you can pay someone $10,000 to do something doesn't mean you should be doing it. Right.
Right.
You need to when it's all you're trying to get is net revenue. And the more you spend on someone just because you can doesn't help your net revenue. So I get it. I think a lot of what I'm doing right now is I've been testing stuff out with things and then internally hiring, because internal hires that you train them, it's just easier to get done. So yeah, there's it's like, it's silly to like,
waste money. And it's like trendy to waste money now. And I'm like, what are you guys
it
doing?
is.
Like,
I think it is a little trendy to waste
it's
money.
so trendy to waste money. And we should talk about that. Like, I come from a background where like, you don't waste money. Like, I was not allowed to leave the table until everything was eaten off my plate. Like, my dad like does very well for himself, and he drives a beat up truck that literally, I'm not kidding you, Casey. He drives like a truck that's worth maybe $4,000, maybe $5,000, got like 10 years ago, and so beat up. And the front of it, like the headlight is taped on with neon duct tape.
Yeah, I love that.
Because it's like been beat up. Like, it's been in like 10 accidents. Like, my dad's almost 80. Like, the poor guy like can't see where shit. So he's hit like a fucking 1,000 things.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so it's like beat up everywhere.
Also,
and it's like everyone's like buying these like Lamborghinis, and I'm like sitting here dying laughing. So I'm like, you guys literally have like $20,000 in the bank, and you guys have like live in like a $1 million home, and you're like,
you're over leveraged up the ass. Yeah.
Like, over leveraged. And it's like, no, like do things. Like, I've never been in, I mean, and nothing to anyone that's obviously been in debt. Like, I've never been in debt, because like, if I don't have the money, I'm not going to spend it. And that's just the way that I was raised. It's just my school of thought. And I was just raised that you like, just do not overspend. You just
let's talk about that, man.
You do things frugally, and you just increase your revenues. Like, I spend all my time like generating revenue, producing income activities. And I try not to spend a lot of money. Even though my lifestyle is expensive.
No, I get it. Like, I once had this, like, I did this video one time. It's like, I make over $1 million, so why do I drive a Prius? And it's like, it was one of my like most watched videos, because because I think there's this misconception about what wealth is, and being a millionaire, or making 7 figures or high 6 figures or whatever. And it's all about like that. If you make 7 figures, you automatically should be like living in a sweet ass fucking house and have like 3 Ferraris, right? But it's, I mean, that's just such bullshit, especially like depending on where your priorities are. Like, you know how much I spend in a nanny? Do you know how much I spend in like just like putting all my kids in school and stuff like that? Like, come on, man. It's like, it's just so not realistic. And so I appreciate all that you're talking about right now, because it's like,
I don't talk about it much, because it's not really like trendy to talk about like saving money. But yeah, no, it's like super important. But okay, let's jump into this podcast. What do you think about that?
Let's do it.
I'm